Hello, everyone. Welcome back to today's podcast, which is all about inspiring the different women leaders at different positions. In this podcast, we invite the different women leaders who has made impact into their own field. And the whole purpose of this podcast is to inspire more women at the leadership position. And today, we have invited somebody who hails from India but is living in Qatar from last many years. She is a coach and also a seasoned HR professional with over 20 years of experience. She helps and guides individuals and organizations toward personal and professional growth. And I know her from last, I would say, few months, and I would love to share more about her because I know a lot of things about her. But it is always, too good to know and learn from somebody who is living this journey. So please welcome Usha Nagrani. Usha, welcome to this podcast.
Thank you. Good evening, Himani. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Usha, if you can share more about yourself and your leadership journey.
Sure. Thank First of all, thank you, Himani, for connecting with me and inviting me on this podcast. I am really excited to share my learnings and my journey with you all today. And thanks for that warm introduction. As Himani has just mentioned, I am a HR professional. I grew up in Delhi and then I moved to Qatar around 18 years ago with an intention to actually being a homemaker because I had two toddlers that time. But then I realized that it's not my cup of tea being at home. So I started my HR career in Qatar. And uh, I started at the mid level before as a specialist. And then I grew up becoming a manager for a local company. And the way I see my leadership journey, actually, it started from the day I started working after completing my MBA in Delhi. There, I was a senior consultant. I always groomed new management trainees and I always told them how to work towards various projects. And coming to Qatar in year 2011, I think I started my
It's been a
position
long
as
time.
manager. Yes, long time. I'm too old, but yet it's
Hmm.
fine.
Yeah,
So Qatar has its own challenges because it's an oil and gas economy. So
definitely.
finding work in an oil and gas economy coming from a non-oil and gas background and non-engineering background was not easy. But yeah, I would say it has its fair share of learning. I could learn how to deal with multicultural people because the first thing was that I found so many people here from all walks of life. They, at any given point of time, every organization I have worked for, we are working with more than 18 to 30 nationalities easily in any company I
Hmm.
have worked so far. So, and
So Usha just want to, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah, please, yeah.
no worries. Just wanted to say that initially I didn't knew that I would go so long in my HR career because it started with talent acquisition. But as time passed, I got my certifications, whether it was CIPD from UK, which I am now a fellow chartered member.
Oh,
And initially it was a professional in human resources from SHRM and also a certified professional from HRCI. So obviously the journey goes on and on. Please go
so
ahead.
Usha,
Thank
you
you.
shifted from India to Qatar because of the spouse reason, or like it was?
Yes, my spouse actually got a job. He's an engineer. He got
Mhm.
a job in Qatar with a government entity. So we decided to relocate as a family.
Okay. So, a lot of women, they change the place and sometimes their career also, maybe because of the spouse reason. And you have also shifted from one country to another, from India to Qatar. Uh, what were your like? Do you have any hesitations or maybe fear of shifting to another country, and maybe how your career will go at that point of time?
As I just told you that initially
Mm-hmm.
I came with an intention that I will be a stay-home mom, stay-at-home
Mm-hmm.
mom, because I had like 5 year and a 6 month old toddler way back when we shifted. But then, you could say the leader in me or the woman in me didn't wanted to accept that because I was always a independent woman who was financially independent woman as well as pretty much doing things on my own. So beyond 3 months I couldn't sit at home. Yes, there were challenges, but I was very excited, about
Okay.
a new beginning. and
Mm-hmm.
about how I can utilize my skills in a oil and rich gas economy.
Oh, that's nice, Usha. Can you also, share some significant, I would say, cultural challenges? Because those two countries are at work. Like India is very different culturally, and Qatar is very different. So, what were the significant cultural challenges you faced when moving to another country? And why I'm asking this question is that maybe, if you can give with your experience some advice to other women and people who are making the, career change because, or maybe the place change because of some reasons.
That's a very good question to ask, Himani. I would say for significant cultural challenges, yes, there was the biggest one was the language. Here the now when I came in, officially language is English.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, government work is done in Arabic, most of it, and people around me, I first time I found people from different nationalities. Even in India, I would say we all are used to diverse people,
Yes,
but they are
true.
all Indians. So the main difference was, here I was in a land where I didn't knew the language. The only common thread which was for us was English, and we didn't
Mm-hmm.
celebrate any festivals or any holidays which is there in India. That those holidays were not there. But I would say I got a lot of people who were used to working with cultural diversity, because Qatar or Middle East, you always find people from different walks of life. So that was, yes, it was a cultural change, but it was not a shock, I would say,
Okay.
because end of the day, people followed. One very good thing about here I like about that, I would like to tell other women also, that unlike India, where there is a lot of work pressure, peer pressure, and
Mm.
there is a race to perform better, and you're always sitting late in office or people are asking you to do that. One good thing about Qatar, I found that it was a straight hour work shift. If
Wow,
I'm
that's
working
nice.
7:30 to 4:30 or 8:30 to 5:30, beyond 5:30 I am not called for. Weekends I am not even disturbed. So that was one good thing. But cultural change, my view
Mm-hmm.
to others is, end of the day, people are people wherever you
Yeah.
go. They change their caste, color, and creed, but inside their heart and their mind is same, because it's human behavior at its best.
When you talk, Usha, about, the work fixed hours and which is different in India, when I talk to, some of my friends who are having their career or living in different countries, they want to come back to India because of a lot of reasons. But one of the reason, I've seen they do not want to come back because they feel the work hours are more. You don't get that, work-life balance and sitting office and late, that flexibility, that is not there. And that is one of the apprehension which I've seen them for, which makes them to think that should they go back to India or not.
Yeah, that is very much there. I don't know, in India, we have this hustle culture and we have this competitive spirit.
Yeah.
So we do that. I would say one good thing about myself, and coming back to the second part of your first question, other previous question, what advice I would give to other women who are making the same move? I would say, see, we have three things which are very important when you go as an expat. One
Mm.
is your trained mind, because wherever
Mm.
you're coming as I came in as an expert, right? And an expert in my field with already 7, 8 years of experience, or even if you have two,
Mm-hmm.
3 years, you have your trained mind. And there are certain skills, we call them soft skills, whether it is your communication skills, your writing skills, or your report writing, or whatever documents you must be producing, or your presentation skills you would be
Mm-hmm.
doing working in that your office. So soft skills, trained mind, and above all, an attitude to go and learn new things and do better than what you have already always done. So these three things really help me a lot. And my favorite word for this, for anybody who's new, there is always a first time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So you can always make a first time learning or go for that first time thing. So that's what I have done, I would say. And coming back to your question about timing, yes. See, all said and done, outside India, people respect each other's time. Whether it's
Mm,
Middle East, that's what I have seen. I have not seen anybody telling me to work. If there is work pressure and if there is extra work, yes, I go on weekends and complete my work, or I sit 1 hour extra and do my work because I need to do that. So
mm.
yes, that cultural change is very much there. And one more good thing about Middle East is than any UK or US, I would say here we get a lot of support system.
Oh, that is something which you always used to tell me, and that I say yes. In UK, and I'm in UK at this moment. I really miss that part.
Yeah, yeah. In Qatar, okay, we had our initial hiccups. We couldn't
Mm,
understand, but yet, if you even home care for your kids, or you can afford to have someone working with you, living with you, like you are working for an employer, you can employ
mm,
somebody who would take care of your kids like you do. Then, as a
mm.
working mother or as a working family, some of your most of your housework is shared.
Mm. And that makes very frankly life, Usha, so easy. Like it's like,
Yes, yes.
yeah, it's just easy to say, but when we live the everyday life, and when you get that home care and services, it makes life, I would say, so easy. Because that I realized after coming to UK, which I never able to fail in when I was in India, because I've seen throughout my life that fitting. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
If I ask you, Usha, what are the biggest differences which you have? Of course, you've shared many, but some maybe biggest differences which you can highlight, which you have noticed in workplace culture in Qatar compared to home country, India?
Yeah, so see, the major difference was being when I came in, not many women used to work in senior positions within Qatar. And
Mm-hmm.
when I got my first job, that was a engineering, construction and engineering company as a recruitment specialist. So I see that there are all men around me. So if
Okay.
I play the woman part, like, okay, I have to take care of my kids, I have to take off, so they used to make faces, or they used to actually feel that, oh, now here comes, she's playing woman card again. So
Mm-hmm.
that was one thing. But I think with my grit and my hard work, I proved to them that maybe it's a little bit of things which I have to take care of my family, and at times I had to put my foot down. Other than that, it's not much. And thanks to my supportive family, I would say, whether it is my husband or it was my in-laws that time, they would always be there to help me out. So the major challenges were faced at work were mainly due to other men's attitude. But
Okay.
with my, I would say, with my can-do attitude and survival for fittest kind of attitude, I never did it. I would just
Mm-hmm.
like to give a short story about my work also. I think I had my son, he was like less than a year old or about a year old. He was sick and I had to take sick leave. And one
Mm-hmm.
big good thing about Qatar health authorities is if parents are taking care of their kids, they will also get a sick leave absence from their of health from the doctors, that you have to take care of the kid. There is no one else to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my bosses told me, you choose between, over the phone. I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
these when we still didn't had emails or WhatsApp groups. So I told him I can't come because my son is not well and he needs me more than the office. So he
Yeah.
told me, you choose between work or your son, family. I said, obviously, the obvious choice I will make is my family at this
Mm-hmm.
point of time. And when after 2 days I turned up at work, the same boss told me, oh, you are here. I thought you would not come. I said, if you ask me this thing, that what I choose over the phone, obviously I'll choose my younger son because he's only
Mm-hmm.
8 months old. Office can survive without me, but he can't. But then after 2 days, I was back, and within same organization. After that, I grew, and with my boss, I had a great relationship. So yes, there are challenges, but it's up to us how we take it. That
True.
day, I remember because I had a choice whether to go back to work or not. But as I told you before, that I had my skills, I had my attitude. So when it is required, I can show it. Other days, obviously, I can go and do my work. So all of us should have that uh, boundary drawn or line
Mhm.
drawn. Yes, beyond this, I can't go. But as a
And also,
professional, I will work.
Usha, when you were saying this, in any organization, if any employee is coming for a work, and because of any personal reasons, they are not able to focus on the work, that whole productivity will not come also during that point of
True,
time.
true, true,
Yeah.
true.
And at that time, if the employer is supporting it, that makes such a good, influence for an employee that when they come back, they love to work more for that organization because they know that during the time of need, organization or the supervisors, they have supported them.
Yeah. Yeah, for my that way, I would say, although I have most of the times I had men bosses because somehow of the fabric of the country, they were always very supportive. As long as you
Hmm.
do the work and you are completing your work, whether your boss won't say anything, even if you are leaving early or if you're taking care of your kids. That way, they are more sensitized. I didn't find any bosses who are insensitive or who are not there. Or rather, I would say, I would advise all young professionals or anybody that
Hmm.
if you're a professional at work, be
Yeah.
professional in your personal things also. Stick to your ethics because going off or taking time off for family, whether it's pleasure, whether it's pain, is my right.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
And
very well
I
said.
don't
Yeah.
feel guilty about it. I have seen a lot of, see, as a woman, we always have this guilt, whether we are
Mm.
mothers, sisters, or as wives, we always feel this guilt. But I know I have felt it also. It never goes away. But there's
Mm.
nothing wrong in accepting it, rather than feeling guilty, accept it. This is my responsibility. I need to do it. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I need 1 day extra or half day extra, but it's fine. End of the day, I am still doing my work. I am good at it also. So if you're good at your work,
Hmm.
nobody will feel these things or nobody will say anything about this. And as a professional, you will take very little time off. And these emergencies can come for anybody, even for a man, it can come. I would say that.
Yeah. And that's very true. I've seen so many women around my office at that point of time that whenever they used to leave the kid because of any reasons, or maybe if they are sick and they come to office, that whole time that guilt is there during that office time. They're not able to focus. And it really used to kill them from inside. Oh my God, because of the this work, I have to leave my child at the home. Who will take care of the child? So that feeling is always there. And Usha, you are into the HR industry from a long period of time. And of course, a lot of people come from different countries to the Qatar. So how does the recruitment process, I would ask you, differ in Qatar? And what should women consider when applying for the jobs here?
Sure. That's a very nice question to ask, Himani. I have found Qatar recruitment process a whole different kind of game because of many reasons. And because I've been here since 2007 to now, I have seen a lot of changes with FIFA and all that. To start
Mm-hmm.
with, I will tell you the culture here or the recruitment process here is driven by what projects are going on in the country. See, from 2007 to 2020, I would say construction and real estate was at boom because they were preparing for World Cup and they were coming out. Qatar is already an oil and gas economy. So from
Yes.
2007 onwards, they wanted to diversify towards construction, real estate. So we
Mm-hmm.
went there. So recruitment process is driven by the visas a company holds,
Okay.
mainly by nationality, and government at its level tries to control different nationalities so that there is not one nationality more or less other. So in any organization we go by the number of visas we have and the kind of people we have to employ, whether it will be professionals, whether it will be semi skills, or whether it will be middle management level. And
Mm-hmm.
depending on the countries and skills we can get, we do it for different expats. And of late, since 2014, there has been a lot of stress on nationalization also, and now also there is a big drive. So usually visas are given for men, and like
Okay.
women, if they want to come on an employment visa, they have to approach different organizations and they have to be very skilled professionals. that they get their visas, whether it is finance professionals, whether it is
Mm-hmm.
accounting professionals, HR professionals are generally within the country because a lot of local nationals go for HR jobs nowadays. The way it is different is that we start by interviewing people from while they are in their country. And once they pass various stages of interview, we get their visa. If we get their visas, they come here and join us. And then once they join, they sponsor their families. And then their
Okay.
families join them. Schools go to the kids go to the school. Women also can find jobs. So for women who are coming with their spouses, like I came, there is a lot of advantage because you don't need the company doesn't have to look for a visa.
Got
So
it.
if you're a skilled professional, you are on your husband's sponsorship. You have a see we all get a Qatar ID for living here.
Mm-hmm.
So as a woman, I have an advantage that I already have a Qatar ID. Company can employ me, and I can start from next 2 weeks. I can start my work.
Okay. Usha, I want to ask you, what about those women who are maybe single, okay,
Mhm.
and wants to come to Qatar? So what approach they should use to get the jobs there?
So for them, the best thing is to look for job boards of various companies, whether in on their company pages
Mm-hmm.
or on LinkedIn nowadays. And there used to be a lot of recruitment consultants. Last 5 years, LinkedIn is equally good because LinkedIn, in fact, I would say last 10 years, LinkedIn has taken over any overseas recruitment consultancy also. But uh, still a lot of professional jobs, whether in oil and gas, healthcare, or construction sector, they can go to overseas recruitment agencies all across India or in some of
Mm-hmm.
them in UAE also for getting jobs and attending interviews through those recruitment fairs. These companies take place in various locations
And which
across the world.
sector, okay, and which sector is Qatar is focusing right now? Like you mentioned earlier, it
Right
was about
now, again, it's
infrastructure.
oil and gas. Right now,
Okay,
the focus is on oil and gas. There are big oil and gas projects going on. Right now, those are the only projects. Construction and everything else is not the focus at all.
okay, got it. And what are some of the successful strategy for women leaders who want to advance their career in Qatar market?
I would say the same thing which I said earlier. You should be having a specialized skill. You
Mm-hmm.
should focus on your specialized skill, your professionalism, and ethics. Ethics are very important when it comes to Qatar. People
Okay.
here really respect whether women, especially who are educated and follow professionalism and ethics. It's very easy to make it here, and it's
Mm-hmm.
very easy to live here. I would say this is one of the safest countries to live for women, especially if even if they are single,
Mm-hmm.
because there are no crime rates. You are tracked everywhere. You have your Qatar ID which tracks you. So yes, that would help you. And obviously your soft skills and
Mm-hmm.
your can-do attitude. And if on top of that, if you have some certifications, whichever field you are going in, you will be able to do that. And people here respect women a lot all
That's good to
across.
know.
Yeah.
And also, I've seen, like seen also like in the Qatar and also in other Arabic countries also the way they have made the security is very very strict and strong. Like
Yes,
it's
yes. I can drive alone at 1 to 3 a.m., 1 a.m. to 3 a.m.
mm,
in the night. No one will stop me. If I have
oh,
problems, police would help me. They will drop me home. Trust me, it has happened with me.
mm-hmm,
Even if we are stuck in the car somewhere, our car is not going, police will come. They will drop us to a safe place or till a place where we can find a car mechanic or something. Even I had been stranded on beaches, sometimes your
mm-hmm,
car just goes on a sand pit or on a stone and you can't get it. I have experienced myself calling police. They will come as soon as possible, even if it takes an hour, and they will be with you till your somebody comes and tows your car away. They will wait for you and they will help you out. So that ways it is there. And for doing successful strategies, it is obviously follow your work ethics, do your work, and keep looking for jobs and keep looking for right employers. If you have the right qualifications and education, no one can stop you. You just need to take that first step and the first initiative, because till now, Qatar needs a lot of professionals.
Okay. And do you think the market, as per the job market, is really big in Qatar at this moment?
At this moment, not big in any sector other than oil and gas,
Okay.
and maybe for hospitality and aviation sector, because Qatar Airways is the largest employer within the country. So yes, they keep looking for positions all over world, and oil and gas sector, yes. Like aviation and oil and gas sector, yes. And even after COVID, a lot of all over world we have seen like Internet of Things and making things easier. So IT jobs and technology jobs are very much there. So same is with Qatar. There would be, whether it would be direct from Qatar or some of the large tech joints, they would be hiring people for working in Qatar, whether it's
Mm.
banking sector, whether it's retail sector, whether it's any other infrastructure sector. So I would say, like world over, these three sectors are growing at the moment, but construction and
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure, not so much, I would say.
Okay. And what are some of the unique challenges, women leaders face in Qatar? So this is something I really want to ask you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the unique challenges, as I said, that people respect here, but somehow culture of the country is that women still haven't got their fair share of leadership opportunities in Qatar. Nowadays, a lot of young Qataris are coming. The females are also coming up, so that is there. So the unique challenge women leaders face is sometimes they might find the same thing, which glass ceiling, which is everybody everywhere it is there. So maybe they will have to hit the glass ceiling really hard.
Mm.
But that is one unique challenge. And another one is sometimes you face, especially for people like us who are coming from non-Arabic background, sometimes we face a challenge that top leaders are more Arabic speaking or more skewed towards those. But if you are a professional and if you know how to do your job,
Mm.
language or culture is not a barrier. That is what I would say. But unique challenges faced could be, yes, you would be the one and only leader at times, but don't shy away from that, because you are the pioneer. You can tread on your own written success path, I would say. A lot of
Okay.
people would discourage you. You will feel challenges, but I have done it. I have been a manager, HR manager, and as well as a recruitment manager in semi-government local companies. Okay, I was alone, but end of the day, if I did my job properly, if I could think like a visionary, like a leader, men
Mm-hmm.
around me didn't have any problem, and even seniors around me didn't have any issues in getting me ahead or supporting me, because end of the day, they want work to be done. But yes, it's not an
Yeah.
easy road, I would say.
So, there is one thing, not only about I say Qatar or India or UK, this thing is everywhere. Like very few women we found at the leadership position. Yeah. Even the biggest organization also at UN also. We find,
Yes.
very few women who are sitting at the, highest leadership position at the C-suite positions. So is the same thing as in the you find in the Qatar market also?
Some places, yes, it is there. Sometimes we
Mm.
say it's a man's world, but I think all women should, it's time for them to make it a woman's world, because it's the onus is on all of us. If all of
Mm-hmm.
us will think that, I don't want to say that we should think that only men can do. No, we can do it. If we
Mm.
can see, if you see, at least in Indian homes, or even I have seen here in Qatari homes or
Mm-hmm.
Arabic culture also, woman is the center of the home. We are always, it's woman who runs the house. So why not that woman runs the office? Yes, I think we all have to stand up and do
Mm-hmm.
this for our own selves and support each other. I think that's what where you are doing a lot, as through your arm and through your leadership uni journey. That's what we are portraying here. We all need to stand up for each other, and we all need to become ladders of each other rather
Mm-hmm.
than not supporting each other.
One question which I want to ask you, which I have not thought it, but while talking to you, one of the last questions I just want to ask here. You, of course, interact with a lot of women and maybe during the recruitment process or otherwise, during the development time also. Still, what are the few of you feel there are some, maybe I would say, soft skill side or maybe, through their personal thing, they should improve so that can help them to grow their career. So that thing is like, I would say, not coming from the organization side or from the cultural side. That is something which the women have to work, you know, to face in this world.
I think the first thing is women have to be very confident.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have done. Be confident of what you do, okay? Because what I have seen, the major difference in the recruitment process of men and women, both, I would say, if I ask men a question about what have you done or what have you, this skill will you be able to do? They'll say, yeah, I've done this and this is my
Mm-hmm.
next step, I'll do it. But for women, they will take this question and they'll start introspecting and say, no, I haven't done it, but if you give me a chance, I will do. So I want to say that all of the women should be very confident how they answer the questions and understand that even men fear a lot many things. So don't let that fear take over you. Convert your fear into a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And don't feel that, okay, if I am a woman, I cannot do this. No, I can do, if I can. The biggest strength of a woman is her motherhood journey or her, like how she upbrings her kids or her siblings. She's like a warrior. So
Yeah.
same way goes for work. We should have confidence and we should be ready to showcase our skills. I have so many
Mm-hmm.
of my colleagues I have seen. They are CAs,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't want to come out and show off their financial skills, even
Mm-hmm.
at home. So it's time that we empower ourselves before we empower others. And also, women should make it necessary. I feel every woman should work, not because she wants to be financially independent, but because she needs to
Mm-hmm.
empower herself.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to know that she also has the same skill set and the same uh, attitude to go ahead and be successful outside the home also. So I would say all the women be confident, showcase your skills, and if required, go ahead and get whatever certification or skills you need. See, if you can learn so much skills in the kitchen without people dump on you, right? Because you're a girl, so you have
Wow.
to do this.
What a nice example, Usha, you have given. I just
Yeah,
loved it.
if we can do so much in
Yeah.
uh, every aspect of our house, why not
Mm.
outside?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure that 50% of your time you give it to yourself, empower
Mm.
yourself. You don't need to be financially independent when there is a need. You need to be financially independent and empowered so that we can add that to the world.
Yeah.
Why waste your own time on things like, okay, socializing and doing things? No, who says
Mm.
women are meant for that? No, we are meant for changing the world. We do that in our households, right? We change
Yeah.
our kids, we shape up our kids. So why can't we shape up organizations, whatever small level it is? That's what I would say.
And I loved it, Kusha, when you say, because you're very right. As a woman, we learn so many things when, because of our instinct, any, situation comes at home, or maybe because of kids, spouse, family. We learn so many things just to, provide them the better situation, better environment, everything. So maybe, yes, the same thing if we think from our professional side, maybe we can do so great with that confidence. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm not talking about only Indian women. I have seen women
Yes,
from
true.
all across the world. I'm sure you would have also seen in UK.
Yeah.
Everywhere it is considered that, okay, if kid is sick, women should take off. If
Mm-hmm.
food needs to be arranged, women
Mm.
should do. But why? Like, why can't men do it? And I would say I'm lucky that way. Unlucky I don't have a girl. I have only two boys, but I have
Yeah.
made sure that I taught them fair share of doing things and supporting themselves rather than
Mhm.
depending on always on others. Or and I've got a very supportive family, whether it is my husband or it was my in-laws. They never differentiated. When it's work, if I have
Mhm.
to stay late till 11 in the night at work,
Mhm.
no one will question me as to why I am not coming home, because they understand if I go out, I have to act like a man, or I have to act like as if it's my professional job.
And
No
Usha,
slacking there.
so what I want to say here, like I've seen a lot of women where they have a good support system, either their parents or maybe the husband or kids or maybe spouse. The whole, their professional growth becomes so easy, and they are able to easily, go at the top positions or reach their goals with their professional life. So I think the
Yeah.
personals, when we do talk about, a lot of organizations, they work, and a lot of universities or the leadership development programs. One thing is there, of course, they're not able to work there. That is about, the personal development, which they get the personal support from the family, and from their whole growth is happening actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think in that case, we should start from our own selves. Like we should make sure that our next generation or our siblings, we tell them that, okay, it's time to get away from these gender biased roles. We talk a
Yeah,
lot about equality at work, but that starts from home. If we start
yeah.
doing equality at home, if we start treating our boys, if we start raising our boys like we raise our girls and our girls like we raise our boys, I think the differentiation would be better, and it
Mm-hmm.
should be becoming better. And we should start from professional development of our own self. Like as
Mm-hmm.
a woman, if I am there for my husband should also be there for me.
Sure.
And a lot many times what women do is that they don't talk for themselves. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
it's time women should take a stand and
Yeah.
empower themselves, because everything starts, like they say, charity begins at home, or
Mm-hmm.
wear your oxygen mask before you put others. So I think it's high time women should stand up for themselves and make sure that they empower themselves. Then they can expect around, and if required, educate your husband, educate your family,
Yes.
educate your kids about the fact that I want this because I want an identity for myself.
So, Shainon, thank you so much for giving me, so many good insights about the Qatar market, the whole recruitment process, what women can do, who are looking to shift to Qatar, maybe because they are single or maybe they are shifting because of the spouse reasons. And, other different aspects also, what women should do in their life, which can help them grow professionally and personally. Any last one thing which you would like to say?
Yeah, the last one thing I would like to say to women is, please empower yourself,
Mm,
be independent in whatever you do, and there is always a first time. Even
yeah.
if it is the first time for you to go out, uh, get your driving license, or go out to the market on your own, take that first step, because that's
Mhm.
what counts.
Thank you so much, Usha, for coming today and sharing so many insights. And if any one of you want to reach me and Usha, you can easily reach us on the LinkedIn and you can tag us. We will answer your questions. So if you have any questions related to Qatar market, about how the recruitment process, how you should apply maybe for the jobs, if you're new to that market, please reach out to Usha Nagrani on the LinkedIn. Thank you so much, Usha, for coming today.
Thank you, Imani. Thank you for inviting me here, and thank you for patiently listening to me. And thank you to all the listeners and everyone who's watching. I am just on LinkedIn. You can reach me throughout this thing, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you, Himani, once again.
Thank you, Usha.